Over in the U.S., as President Joe Biden returns home from the G7 summit, he's set to resume debt ceiling negotiations with Congress. Eyes are on whether the two sides can reach a compromise with just 2 weeks until the June 1st deadline when the U.S. government faces default on its debt. Eun-jin has the latest.
On Sunday evening, while flying back from the G7 summit in Japan, U.S. President Joe Biden discussed the current debt ceiling issue with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy over the phone. This was following negotiations last week between senior White House aides and House Republicans that failed to come to an agreement. And during a news conference in Japan, President Biden stated that much of what the Republicans have already proposed is simply unacceptable. McCarthy told reporters that the phone call was productive, but their differences still stand.
What I'm looking at are where our differences are and how could we solve those. And I felt that part was productive. But look, there's no agreement. We're still apart.
President Biden will be meeting with Speaker McCarthy on Monday upon his return to Washington. McCarthy says Republicans backed an increase in the defense budget while cutting overall spending, and that debt ceiling talks have not included discussions about tax cuts passed under the former administration. While President Biden has stressed that he's open to making spending cuts and said he was actually not concerned about the cuts leading to a recession, but he could not agree to the Republicans' current demands. Currently, the Republicans hold a slim majority in the House, and the Democrats have narrow control of the Senate, so no deal can pass without bipartisan support. Less than 2 weeks remain until the June 1st deadline U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen reaffirmed on Sunday, when the Treasury Department has warned that the federal government could be unable to pay all its debts. A failure to lift the debt ceiling would trigger a default that would cause chaos in financial markets and spike interest rates. Eun-jin, Arirang News.